Welcome to our channel. Join us for fun quizzes and trivia that will challenge your mind. Let's dive into fascinating questions. Which European country has over 200 volcanoes? Iceland. When is the Earth at its maximum distance from the Sun? July 4th. A large loop-like bend in a river is called? A meander. Where is the second highest mountain found? Pakistan/China. Which is the most populated city in Asia?
Tokyo.
Which is the smallest island in the world? Nauru. How deep is the Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean? (11,034 m). What is the difference between a solar day and a sidereal day? Solar day is longer than sidereal day. Which country has the longest coastline in Africa? Somalia. What does the Beaufort scale measure? Wind speed. What is the approximate age of the Earth? $4.54 billion years. One astronomical unit is the average distance between? Earth and Sun. Which country tops the list of uranium production in the world?
Kazakhstan.
The place of origin of an earthquake is called? Seismic focus. Which country is called the home of spices? India. What is an underwater mountain called?
Seamount.
Which method is used to measure the distance of a planet or a star from the Earth? Parallax. What is the shape of the Earth? Sphere. Which bridge in London opens in the middle to let tall ships pass through? Think of a bridge with a view that stops traffic for ships. That would be Tower Bridge. The orbit along which the Earth revolves is what shape? Think of a path that's slightly off from a perfect circle, like a race track. It's elliptical. The George Washington Bridge connects New York City to which neighboring state? Picture heading from Manhattan across the Hudson River. That's New Jersey. Greenland, the world's largest island, is part of which continent politically? Imagine a frozen island politically connected to the Old World. It's part of Europe. The Nile River flows through which continent? Picture ancient civilizations along the world's longest river. It's Africa. The movement of slaves from Africa to the Americas is an example of what type of migration? Think of a painful history of forced movement. It's involuntary migration. What is the approximate equatorial circumference of the Earth? Imagine a circle wrapping all the way around the planet. It's about 40,000 kilometers. What is the average population density in the world? Think of people spread out across the globe, with urban centers here and there. The answer is 37. Dog is to rabies as mosquito is to what? Think of diseases often brought by this buzzing insect in warm weather. It's malaria. Which continent has the highest number of landlocked countries? Imagine places far from the sea, surrounded by neighboring nations. The answer is Africa. Which continent has the highest density of population? Picture cityscapes with millions packed into busy spaces. It's Asia. Europe and Asia are sometimes considered a single landmass called what? Think of a massive landform stretching across the Eastern Hemisphere. It's Eurasia. Which famous bridge connects San Francisco to Marin County in California? That's the Golden Gate Bridge. What approximately is the percentage of the world population concentrated in Asia? Imagine more than half of the world's people living on a single continent. It's about 58%. Increasing concentration of people in small portions of Earth's surface is known as what? Think of growing cities and crowded urban centers. The answer is population explosion. On which continent can you find the city of Istanbul, which spans 2 continents? Picture a city as a bridge between East and West. It's Europe. The mean radius of the Earth is approximately how many kilometers? Imagine a measurement from the ground to Earth's core. It's about 6,400 kilometers. The sun shines vertically on the equator. How often? Think of a moment when the sun is directly overhead, twice a year. That's the answer, twice a year. The moon is called a satellite of the Earth because why? It's because of Earth's gravity. What is the longest bridge over water in the world? Picture a bridge stretching far out across the water. It's the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway. The longest river in the world, the Amazon, flows through which continent? Think of dense, green rainforests crossed by a winding river. That's South America. The highest urban population density in the world occurs in which city? Picture a packed metropolis where the population density is intense. The answer is Tokyo. Which bridge is known for connecting 2 continents, Europe and Asia? Picture a bridge uniting 2 great continents in one city. It's the Bosphorus Bridge.
Which oceanic zone has no light and is considered the deep ocean? Imagine a place so deep that no sunlight ever reaches. That's the abyssal zone. What substance makes up most of a jellyfish's body? Picture something that makes them nearly transparent and delicate. It's water. Which shark species is known as the fastest swimmer? Think of a streamlined predator built for speed. That's the shortfin Marco. Which fish species can blow itself up like a balloon? Imagine a fish that puffs up to defend itself from predators. It's the pufferfish. What type of dolphin is often mistaken for a whale due to its large size? Think of a black and white marine mammal often seen in groups. That's the orca. What organism is responsible for creating most of the world's oxygen? Picture tiny ocean plants producing oxygen through photosynthesis. It's phytoplankton.
In what unit are nuclear sizes measured? Consider something tiny and precise. They're measured in Fermi. Through which material does light travel the slowest? Think of where light gets caught up the most. That would be glass. As an object falls freely, what happens to its potential energy? Picture the energy shifting as it gains speed. It's converted into kinetic energy. What color do you get by mixing yellow and green? Think of a refreshing, vibrant color. That would be lime. What kind of waves are used in night vision technology? Imagine seeing in the dark like a spy. Those are infrared waves. As you go deeper into a well, what happens to your weight? Consider the subtle change as you descend. Your weight decreases slightly. What material is used for writing in pencils? Think of the smooth, dark material inside. That's graphite. Where on earth would you weigh the least? Imagine standing somewhere with the lowest pull of gravity. That would be at the center of the earth. What is the largest gulf in the world? Picture a massive body of water along North America. That's the Gulf of Mexico. Which planet in our solar system is the coldest? Think far from the sun and icy cold. It's Neptune. What's the largest primate in the world? Picture a powerful, familiar figure from nature. That's the gorilla. What do pandas primarily eat? Imagine a panda munching its favorite food. They mainly eat bamboo. What's the smallest bird in the world? Picture a tiny bird with a fast, buzzing flight. That's the bee hummingbird. Which mammal has the most powerful bite? Think of a huge animal with a massive jaw. It's the hippopotamus. Which animal can sleep for up to 3 years? Imagine a long hibernation period. That's the snail. How many bones do sharks have in their bodies? Think of a skeleton structure that's a bit different. Sharks actually have 0 bones. Which bird is famous for its colorful tail feathers? Picture an elaborate display of feathers. That would be the peacock. Which ancient civilization built the pyramids? Think of a powerful culture along the Nile. That's the Egyptians. Who discovered America in 1492? Picture a historic sea voyage across the Atlantic. That was Christopher Columbus. Who was the first human to journey into outer space? Think of the start of the space race. That was Yuri Gagarin. Who was the first African American president of the United States? Imagine a milestone in U.S. history. That was Barack Obama. Who is the CEO of Tesla Incorporated? Think of electric cars and space ventures. That's Elon Musk. When was the movie The Godfather released? Picture the start of a legendary film series. It was released in 1972. When did the construction of the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco start? Imagine the iconic bridge beginning to take shape. It started in 1933. When did Friends air for the first time? Think of a beloved TV show that took off in the 90s. It first aired in 1994. When was Netflix launched? Picture the start of a streaming revolution. Netflix was launched in 1998. How many people visited New York City in 2019? Think of one of the world's most popular tourist destinations. It was 44.4 million people. Which sea route is the busiest in the world? Imagine constant traffic across vast waters. That would be the North Atlantic route. Moving from the equator to the poles, what happens to the difference between day and night? Think of longer, colder nights up north. The difference actually increases as you go toward the poles. Which European country is known as the Low Country? It's the land of windmills and tulips. That's Holland. Which 2 continents look like mirror images across the Atlantic? Picture a puzzle of continents split by the ocean. That would be Africa and South America. What's the standard room temperature in Kelvin? Think of a cozy, regular room temp in scientific terms. It's 298 K. What's the main principle behind a washing machine? Think of fast spinning to remove dirt and stains. It's centrifugation.
In which movie do you find a fish named Nemo? A big adventure under the sea with friends made along the way. It's Finding Nemo. Which country recently hosted the 2024 Summer Olympics? That would be France. Which country has the largest population in the world? Imagine the world's largest democracy, bustling with cities and vibrant culture. It's India. Who is the fastest man in the world, known for his lightning speed on the track? It's Usain Bolt. What is the highest score possible in a single game of bowling? Perfect game for all strikes. Score it if you can. The answer is 300. What gas do plants absorb from the atmosphere? Think of what plants breathe in to grow and produce oxygen. It's carbon dioxide. What is the currency of Russia? It's the ruble. What is the most common surname in the United States? A familiar last name in many American families. It's Smith. How many dots appear on a pair of dice? Count up all the pips on 2 standard dice. The answer is 42. What is acrophobia a fear of? It's the fear of heights. What is the world's largest retailer, where America shops for almost everything? It's Walmart. What is the largest Spanish-speaking city in the world? A lively metropolis south of the U.S. border. It's Mexico City. What is the only flag that does not have 4 sides? A unique shape flying high in the mountains. It's Nepal. Where is the strongest human muscle located? Think of the force behind a bite. It's in the jaw. Which is the only body part that is fully grown from birth? This part doesn't get any bigger as you grow up. It's your eyes. What is the world's best-selling stout beer? A dark brew often enjoyed at Irish pubs. It's Guinness. What meat is used in a shepherd's pie? Classic comfort food in the UK, made with a certain type of meat. It's lamb. In which country was Elon Musk born? A place known for safaris and a certain type of accent. It's South Africa. Which country has won the most World Cups? Think of carnival celebrations and legendary players. It's Brazil. What is a group of crows called? Sounds mysterious and a little spooky. It's a murder. What animal has the longest tongue? Picture a tall, long-necked animal at the zoo. It's the giraffe. Who directed Titanic, Avatar, and The Terminator? This filmmaker loves epic adventures. It's James Cameron. What is the highest-selling album of all time? Think of a record that stood the test of time. It's Thriller by Michael Jackson. What event triggered the U.S. entry into World War II, a moment that brought America into a global conflict? It was the attack on Pearl Harbor. Australia is wider than what celestial body? Think about a land down under being wider than a night sky object. It's the moon. Which planet spins clockwise in our solar system? A planet with a unique rotation, opposite to others. It's Venus. How long would it take to fall to the center of the Earth? If you could dig straight down, how long would it take? It's about 19 minutes. How many time zones does Russia have? This country stretches so far, it covers many hours. It has 11 time zones. What can bees do that is higher than Mount Everest? These small insects can fly to impressive heights. They can fly higher than Mount Everest. What smell do comets have? A scent that's not pleasant, like something rotten. They smell like rotten eggs. Which planet is made almost entirely of diamonds? A distant, glittering planet that's truly a gem. It's a diamond planet. What is the name of the toy cowboy in Toy Story? A friendly toy cowboy with a big heart? It's Woody.
What animal sweats milk? Here's a clue. It's a unique mammal found in Australia. That would be the platypus. What animal can sleep while holding hands? Think of adorable sea creatures that float together to stay close. It's sea otters. What color do bananas glow under black lights? Picture a tropical fruit with a surprising neon glow. They glow blue. What animal's tongue can weigh as much as an elephant? Imagine the largest creature on Earth with an equally massive tongue. It's the blue whale. What animal sweats through its paws? Think of man's best friend, staying cool in its own way. That's dogs. If you could stretch out all the hair on your head end to end, how far could it reach? Picture miles of flowing locks, stretched to the horizon. It could reach 12 miles long. What is the fear of long words called? Ironically, the name of this phobia is quite long itself. It's hippopotomonstrosesquipedaliophobia. How long is the circulatory system in the human body? Think of the length of highways spanning across the U.S. multiple times. It's more than 60,000 miles. How many times does the average human heart beat each day? Imagine the steady rhythm that keeps you alive, happening thousands of times. It beats about 100,000 times a day. What part of the human body cannot heal itself? Think of something strong but unable to repair on its own. That's human teeth. On average, how many spiders does a human unknowingly swallow while sleeping in their lifetime? Creepy but true, these tiny creatures might sneak in unnoticed. It's about 10 spiders. How many calories does the human brain burn each day? Picture the energy your mind uses, even while you're sitting still. It's around 400 to 500 calories. What percentage of people are left-handed? Think of those who write with a different hand than most. It's approximately 10%. Which flying mammal uses echolocation to navigate? Picture a nocturnal creature zipping through the night sky. That's bats. What part of the human body grows faster than toenails? Think of the nails you trim most often. It's fingernails. How many letters does the longest English word have? Imagine a word so long, it takes hours to pronounce. It's 189,819 letters. What happens to blood flow when wearing a necktie? Think of something tight that can affect circulation. It reduces by up to 7.5%. Where is a shrimp's heart located? It's not where you might expect. It's in its head. What causes metal to expand when heated? Imagine the way things grow bigger under intense heat. It's thermal expansion. How many species of insects exist on Earth? Think of countless tiny creatures buzzing and crawling everywhere. There are more than 1 million species. What is the largest butterfly in the world? Picture a butterfly with wings as wide as a small bird. It's Queen Alexandra's birdwing. What percentage of orange cats are male? Think of the majority of ginger-furred felines. It's around 80%. What organization has been documenting the wonders of the world since 1888? Think of a yellow-framed magazine full of adventure and discovery. It's National Geographic. What was penicillin first called? Think of something discovered from a surprising source. It was called mold juice. How do snakes smell? Picture a forked tool used to sense the world. They smell with their tongue. What is illegal to own only one of in Switzerland? Think of a social pet that needs a companion. It's a guinea pig. What script was sold for $1? Think of an iconic sci-fi movie that started with a bargain. It's The Terminator. What did a woman in the United Kingdom once call the police about? Picture a sweet treat with a small but serious complaint. It was not enough sprinkles on her ice cream. Who is the national animal of Scotland? Imagine a mythical creature that represents pride and magic. It's the unicorn. What lived for 18 months without its head? Think of a farm bird that defied the odds. It was a chicken. What is the world record for the longest concert duration? Picture music playing non-stop for weeks on end. It lasted 453 hours. What is the fear of other people's opinions called? Think of a phobia about worrying what others think. It's allodoxophobia. What does the letter Q not appear in? Think of names across the US, but this letter is always missing. It's any American state's name. What do you call an animal that eats both meat and plants? Think of an animal that's not too picky when it comes to food. That would be an omnivore. Which animal only eats leaves? Picture a gentle grazer, munching away on greenery. That would be a herbivore. How long do domestic cats typically live? Imagine years of cozy naps, purring, and playful moments. It's 12 to 15 years. What animal has the highest blood pressure? Think of an animal that needs a powerful heart to pump blood all the way up its long neck. That's a giraffe. What do you call a female donkey? Picture a hard-working farm animal with a delicate name. She's called a Jenny. How long is an elephant's pregnancy? Think of the world's most patient moms in the animal kingdom. It's 22 months. The headquarters of Apple Incorporated are in which U.S. state? Picture tech innovation and sunny beaches. It's California. Which U.S. president got stuck in a bathtub? Think of a historical moment that's both comical and memorable. That was William Howard Taft. Which Parisian landmark was meant to be temporary but became the city's most famous symbol? Think of ironwork reaching for the skies and romance in the air. It's the Eiffel Tower. Which Australian building is shaped like giant sails? Picture stunning architecture on the edge of the harbor. That's the Sydney Opera House. What's the record for most spoons balanced on a face? Imagine a quirky challenge with shiny utensils. The record is 31 spoons. What's the record for most t-shirts worn at once? Think of layers upon layers in the ultimate fashion statement. It's 260 t-shirts. What English word has no vowels? Think of a word that flows like a beat in music. It's rhythms. What's the longest toenails ever recorded? Picture nails that go on and on, far beyond what's practical. They were 87 inches. What's the world's most stolen food? Think of something that's always in demand and gratefully enjoyed. It's cheese. Before carrots were orange, what color were they? Picture a royal hue for this crunchy veggie. They were purple. Which fruit is considered half human? Think of a fruit that shares some surprising DNA similarities with us. It's bananas. What percentage of the human body is water? Picture your body as a high-tech hydration system. It's 60%. Which ocean animal is the loudest on Earth? Imagine sound waves traveling farther than a jet engine roar. It's the blue whale. Which element smells like rotten eggs? Think of a chemical that makes your nose wrinkle. It's sulfur. How many vending machines are there per person in Japan? Think of a nation known for convenience and automation. There's one for every 40 people. What country has ranked as the happiest for 7 years straight? Think of cozy winters and breathtaking Nordic landscapes. It's Finland. What is the name of the active volcano in Hawaii? Picture a majestic peak rising from the Pacific. It's Mauna Loa. In what year did the U.S. declare independence? Think of fireworks and freedom ringing out across the land. It was 1776. What is the national animal of Canada? Picture a hard-working rodent with a knack for building dams. It's the beaver. Which U.S. state has the largest population? Think of bustling cities and Hollywood dreams. It's California. Which country has won the most Olympic medals? Picture a team draped in red, white, and blue dominating the podium. It's the United States. What was the main cause of the American Civil War? Think of a nation divided over a critical human rights issue. It was slavery. Which bird is a national symbol of New Zealand? Picture a small, flightless bird, unique to the land of the long white cloud. It's the kiwi. What was the original purpose of the tiny pocket in jeans? Think of a practical spot for something timeless and small. It was to hold a pocket watch. What do you call the study of the Earth's physical structure? Picture scientists unearthing the mysteries of rocks and landforms. It's geology. What is the highest-grossing film of all time? Think of an epic adventure on an alien world. It's Avatar. In which city can you find a famous little statue of a boy peeing? Think of a quirky landmark that's been around since the 17th century. It's in Brussels. What is the second tallest mountain in the world? Think of a formidable peak known for its treacherous climbs. It's K2. Mount Fuji is an active volcano in which country? Picture a majestic peak that's a cultural icon in Asia. It's Japan. Which muscle never tires due to its dense, energy-packed mitochondria? It's the one that keeps you alive, beating steadily all day and night. That would be the heart. Which body part contains the most bones? Think of something you use every day to write, grab, or wave hello. It's the hand. True or false, stress can cause hair to turn gray. Life's challenges might leave their mark on more than just your mood. The answer is true. Which is considered a semi-planet? A once-loved planet that now shares a different category in our solar system. It's Pluto. Who was considered the most beautiful woman in the 1950s and 1960s? A Hollywood icon whose beauty and charisma captured hearts around the world. That would be Marilyn Monroe. What are nails made of? A protein that keeps them strong and growing, just like your hair. It's keratin. Who is the youngest and richest person in the world? Think of a teenage billionaire with a knack for making headlines. It's Kevin David Lehman. Which sliver of land makes up more than half of South America's western coastline? A long, skinny country famous for its mountains and wine. That's Chile. What is the only sea without coasts? A mysterious sea defined by ocean currents instead of shores. It's the Sargasso Sea. How much of the Nile River is located in Egypt? Think of the country where this famous river ends its journey. It's 22%. Which continent has the largest freshwater resources? Home to vast ice sheets that hold most of the world's frozen water. It's Antarctica. Which country has the world's longest coastline? A land of maple syrup and hockey, surrounded by endless shores. It's Canada. Which African country is the most populous? The giant of Africa, known for its rich culture and Nollywood films. That would be Nigeria. Which U.S. state is known as the Sunshine State? Think of beaches, oranges, and endless sunny days. It's Florida. What is a dog's permanent tooth count? Your furry friend uses these to chew their favorite treats. It's 42. How long is a nautical mile? A little longer than the mile you'd run on a track. It's 1.15 miles. Which country has the most highway miles in the world? A nation known for its rapid growth and expansive infrastructure. It's China. What is the fear of the number 13 called? Some hotels skip this floor entirely because of it. It's triskaidekaphobia. What is the rarest blood type in humans? If you've got this type, you're part of an exclusive group. It's AB negative. What's the scientific name for peeling skin? It's what happens after a sunburn or during a dry spell. It's called desquamation. Which animal can regenerate lost limbs? A sea creature known for its incredible ability to regrow. It's the starfish. Which animal has the longest lifespan? A slow-moving creature that takes its time and lives for centuries. It's the giant tortoise. How far can a wolf smell its prey? A predator with an extraordinary sense of smell. It's nearly 2 miles. What is the world's most poisonous spider? A spider with a venomous bite that ranks as the deadliest. It's the Brazilian wandering spider. How many times can a hummingbird flap its wings per second? A tiny bird with wings that blur in motion. It's 80 times. Which organ can account for up to 30% of a shark's total body mass? It helps the shark stay buoyant and store energy. It's the liver. How many times does a giant panda poop each day? A bamboo diet means they're busy all day. It's 40 times a day. How far can a squirrel fall without dying? These critters seem to defy gravity with their aerial skills. Any height. Muhammad Ali was famous in which sport? The heavyweight champion with a float like a butterfly, sting like a bee style. It's boxing. In golf, how long are players permitted to look for their ball? Time's ticking if you lose it in the rough. It's 5 minutes. What is illegal for single ladies to do in Florida solely on Sundays? A strange law that makes some adrenaline activities off limits. It's skydive.
Who directed the Marvel movie Avengers Endgame? Think of the brothers behind this superhero blockbuster. It's Joe and Anthony Russo. What bird's tongue wraps around its skull when not in use? Picture a bird that's famous for pecking away at trees. That would be the woodpecker. How many compartments do cows have in their stomach? Imagine a digestive system built for grazing and chewing cud. Cows have 4 compartments. Which company's slogan is, "You're in good hands"? Think of an insurance company that prioritizes care and trust. It's Allstate. What is the color of the most poisonous frog in the world? Envision a bright warning signal in the jungle. The answer is yellow. In what country did the first Starbucks open outside of North America? Think of tea ceremonies and cherry blossoms meeting coffee culture. It's Japan. Which U.S. state is the only state to grow coffee beans? Picture lush, tropical islands in the Pacific. That would be Hawaii. Who provided the voice of Groot in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies? Remember the actor known for his deep voice and action roles. It's Vin Diesel. What was the first sport ever invented? Think of an ancient, primal form of competition. The answer is wrestling. What fish is known as a poor man's lobster? Picture a budget-friendly seafood delicacy. That's monkfish. What is the closest living relative to the T-Rex? Think of something clucking in a barnyard today. Surprisingly, it's the chicken. Chrome, Safari, Firefox, and Explorer are different types of what? Think of how you navigate the World Wide Web. They're web browsers. How old was Rose in the Titanic movie when recounting her story? Picture the elderly woman sharing her memories of the ship. She was 100 years old. What bird cannot move its eyeballs? Envision a nocturnal bird known for its swiveling head. It's the owl. The age of a lion can be determined by its... Think of a feature that changes over time, unique to each lion. It's the nose. When did Facebook first launch? Think of a platform that started connecting college students in the early 2000s. It was 2004. What does SPF in sunscreen stand for? Consider the numbers on your sunscreen bottle. It stands for sun protection factor. Adult wolves have how many teeth? Picture a predator's sharp grin. They have 42 teeth. In 1929, what ingredient was removed from Coca-Cola? Think of a controversial substance from its original formula. The answer is cocaine. What is the fastest fish in the ocean, capable of reaching speeds up to 68 miles per hour? Imagine a sleek fish racing through the water. It's the sailfish. Which athlete has won the most Olympic medals? Think of a swimmer dominating the pool across multiple games. That would be Michael Phelps. What is Muhammad Ali's real name? Picture the boxing legend before he took on his famous moniker. It's Cassius Clay. This is the only snake that builds a nest. Imagine a snake protecting its eggs in a carefully built home. It's the king cobra. What is a rhinoceros horn made of? Think of a material you'd also find in your hair or nails. It's hair. Originally, Amazon only sold what kind of product? Picture the beginnings of an e-commerce giant in the 90s. The answer is books. What is the tiny piece at the end of a shoelace called? Think of the little plastic tip that keeps your laces together. It's an egglet. What is the oldest soft drink in America? Picture a soda that's been around since the 19th century. It's Dr. Pepper. Which country has the most Olympic medals in swimming? Imagine a nation with a history of dominating the pool. That would be the USA. Who was the first televised president? Think of a leader who made history on the small screen. It was Franklin D. Roosevelt. How long is a marathon? Picture a grueling race that tests endurance over many miles. It's 26.2 miles. What are male honeybees called? Think of the bees whose sole role is to mate with the queen. They're called drones. Who was the first woman pilot to fly solo across the Atlantic? Picture the brave aviator whose name is synonymous with flight. It's Amelia Earhart. In what year was the internet open to the public? Think of the early 90s, when the World Wide Web became accessible. It was 1993.